As President Donald Trump embarks on that first international trip to the Middle East, his opponents back home are voicing concerns about many of the actions that the new administration took in the first 100 days to downsize the federal government and deport immigrants. The growing list of senators have even said America is headed for a constitutional crisis. National security correspondent Liz Landers spoke with one of those senators. Good morning, Liz.
Good morning, Holly. U.S. Senator Angus King is an independent from Maine, and he has been sounding the alarm bells about why he views President Trump's second administration as a threat to democracy. And in our sit-down with Scripps News on Capitol Hill, he explained how that is impacting national security. You recently said that this administration is ignoring the Constitution. How?
It's pretty straightforward in a number of different ways. Number one is wiping out, destroying, eliminating agencies, whole agencies that were created by act of Congress. The AID, the Department of Education, Voice of America. The other piece is impounding funds, not spending money. I have news for the administration. An appropriation bill is a law. It was passed by Congress, signed by the president. The separation of powers that's in the Constitution was the fundamental premise of what the framers were trying to achieve, which was no monarchy.
Are we in a constitutional crisis?
I believe that we are. I believe this is the most serious undermining of the structure of the Constitution in our history. This is not just the normal tension where the president's trying to get a little extra power and the Congress is, more jealously guarding its power. This goes way beyond that. And the framers expected, and they wrote this in the Federalist Papers, they expected that the natural tendency to preserve your own power would make the Congress refuse to give in to the president. What they didn't reckon is parties. The political party has now superseded the Constitution.
Scripps News covered the revelations last fall that Chinese actors had hacked more than 10 major American telecommunications companies in a widespread breach called Salt Typhoon, which King fears continues to expose Americans' personal data. Is Salt Typhoon still an ongoing hack?
I believe that it is. I'm not sharing any classified information, but it would surprise me if it wasn't. One of the big problems with our cyber policy in this country is that there's no deterrent. Since World War II, that's been our whole premise is deterrence, except in cyber. Salt Typhoon, tremendous attack on our telecommunication system, no response. Nothing. We are not going to be able to patch our way out of this problem.
So should the Biden administration have
done something? Yes.
Would you support the Trump administration launching a cyber attack against China then?
I don't want to say that it should be a cyber attack. I'm just saying there should be some response. And it could be sanctions, it could be cyber, it could be any number of things.
President Trump seems poised to accept a gift of a new plane to replace Air Force One by the Qataris. He's defending this move and saying that Democrats are, quote, world-class losers for raising objections to this move. Do you think this is a problem for him to accept this plane?
It's crazy on every level. Number one, national security. This is a plane that's been rebuilt in Qatar. We practically have to take it apart piece by piece to be sure it's not compromised in some way. Number two, the Constitution is absolutely clear. The executive cannot accept gifts from a foreign state unless approved by Congress. Number three, is it really a good idea to accept a gift that's this extravagant from another country? What are they getting in return? What are they buying? I don't think anybody who raises those issues is a loser. I think anybody that raises those issues has their eyes open.
How do you think America is going to look by the end of Donald Trump's presidency?
Well, it's hard to tell because we're only in for 3 months and we don't really know. But I think it's been a rough ride for our country. Why are we going out of our way to alienate the people that are our friends? The idea of this administration seems to be that we can be Fortress America. We got these oceans on both sides and we can go it alone. And history's told us that doesn't work.
King says that campaigning on democracy is abstract, and he doesn't claim it's a winning political issue, but he feels, quote, duty-bound to raise this concern. Holly.
And Liz, I understand that the senator was wearing a special kind of tie for the interview. What was it?
Senator King was wearing, as you might have noticed during the interview, a crimson-colored tie, and it had some white scribbles, and it may just look like a busy pattern or a print. But upon further inspection, which he urged us to do, you'll see here that it's actually printed with signatures from America's founding fathers when they signed the Declaration of Independence. And King told me that these people who signed the Declaration of Independence were putting their lives on the line for the idea of America. And he said that I think it's incumbent upon us to take that seriously and remember that. Holly.
Interesting, and it's a good-looking tie. Scripps News national security correspondent Liz Landers, great interview. Thank you so much.